Hello, my loves, and welcome to this reading. It's good to see you. And if you're new here, I like to give a little heads up before my readings because they might not be what you're used to from other readers. I like to compare them to a journey. And they can be quite a deep dive. So if you like to get to the core of things, if you enjoy the process, then you are in the right place. I'm here today with some input from Mercury. We are at the moment in a Mercury retrograde. Nonetheless, I want to say if this reading finds you at any other time, it might be relevant. It might still be relevant. Those are timeless messages. And yes, but if you are also in a Mercury retrograde when finding this, then this might apply to you even more in this time. So right off the bat, I want to say there is a lot here about self-expression and throat chakra activations. You might hear it in my voice. It's still a little sore. I've been, like last week, I had major, what you might call ascension symptoms. My body is always reacting in a very, very strong way to collective energy movements, and especially around portal days. So you might be feeling this as well. You might be feeling, if you have sensations in your throat, some issues with your voice, coughing, all of that stuff might be throat chakra related, very possibly so. And yeah, this topic of self-expression is also coming through. I do feel like a very strong urge to record messages, to express, to talk. It's interesting because something that I've learned and realized working with Mercury retrogrades is that at the beginning, it usually takes us inward a lot, and it's a lot is very unclear. And then there's always this moment where it's almost like a switch, and then it turns around, and all the things that were happening internally are starting to externalize, and you might feel the need to journal, to talk about things, to communicate in whatever way. It doesn't always have to be words. It could be something different, although because it's Mercury, it's very, very likely that it is in some way related to language. Well, I mean, maybe you are using different types of language. Like I get coding. I see music sheets, like writing musical notes. Maybe this is a language that you can use in order to make information conscious. So maybe you're not that good with spoken words, with like this kind of language that we usually think of language, think about when we talk about language. So okay, this is an interesting take on it. It's like, don't get fixated on like it has to be a certain kind of language. You can use any kind of language that you are fluent in. But what is important is to use any kind of language, like to use the language, to externalize what has been brewing inside of you. And this helps with the process. Like you can help with the Mercury retrograde. One or two words about sentences about the Mercury retrograde. It's a buzzword, and I know we all know the funny memes about the traffic collapsing and the communication hiccups. And yes, they're part of Mercury retrogrades, but in my experience, they usually are a way of Mercury throwing little obstacles in our way in order for us to look closer. If you experience those kind of things, it usually is a message. It usually tries to tell you something. The more reluctant to listening you are, the heavier the obstacles are or become. Like I say, in my experience, when things are happening, like for example, yesterday, I didn't receive a package because there was an error with the address, and at first I got really upset and I was getting angry. But then I remember, like, oh right, it's Mercury retrograde. Okay, so what's going on? And then I realized that there was like this, and I was wondering, like, why do I get so upset? Why do I get so angry? Because that is usually not my way of reacting to those kind of things. And then I realized, oh wow, there's like this whole other topic underneath it, and I wasn't really able to see that. And so Mercury just like, gave me that little inconvenience in my life, which was inconvenient enough to make me aware of the topic that I was neglecting or not wanting to look at, or just, sometimes we just don't pay attention. And which is okay, because like there's a lot going on in our world and our lives, and sometimes it's just not possible to pay attention to everything. And so yeah, I'm grateful for those little hints that Mercury is giving me. And I know otherwise I probably would not have looked at it in depth. Anyway, so this is just like my 5 cents to this whole topic of Mercury retrograde. You can sign contracts, you can make decisions, you can travel by train, bus, plane, whatever. Just see it as like a different form of, like, it's a period of, for one, introspection. And it's a powerful time where you can gain insights. And if those inconveniences happen, don't see it as a nuisance or annoyance, but actually try to look at it as a form of messaging, because Mercury is the messenger of the gods. And yes, his way of messaging can sometimes be a bit uncomfortable for us humans, because he attracts energy in the end. But, well, it's his way of communicating, and there's a lot of wisdom in there. So just my recommendation. Don't stress about it, don't fret about it, but use it to your advantage. And there are, I think, usually like around 3 Mercury retrogrades each year. And they can be a very, very powerful time, and they can help you with your with the insights and introspection. So there you go, Mercury. I was I'm promoting your cause here. So what else do we have? Dear Mercury, what do you want to tell us? Okay, another deck. Oh yeah, so this is, I'm always saying, like, this deck I use when I want to hear the truth. So yeah, this is another side of Mercury, I'd say. Oh, I need some kind of I need something to shuffle my cards on. Mercury is someone who's leading us to the truth in his own way. It's a different way. It's unique, and it's, like I say, sometimes a bit annoying. Trickster. It's like he's playing pranks on humanity in order to truth. Okay. Yeah, I just thought about sorry, just realizing something. Because these two cards with the moon, they just stood out to me right now. The similarity. Time for a nap and imagine. So there's something about dreaming and resting. Yeah, I mean the resting thing that keeps coming up for this collective, guys and women. I'm actually trying not to say guys anymore. Interesting why I'm mentioning it now, but okay. So yeah, there's a whole lot coming in at once now. So for one, there's something about language, watching your language, how you use language. And you can have your own opinions on all of this stuff. The reason why I don't want to say guys anymore is because it's, yeah, I just try to change my language to something that is not always, I'd say, overlooking the female perspective. Not from a political point of view. I do have my own reasons why I do that. So yeah, there is this thing about, it's not about, like I say, it's not about political points of views. It is really about energy, because language is its own form of magic. Every kind of language is its own form of magic, and it carries a certain essence, a certain energy. And by using certain terms that are, for example, I'm just calling it like, it carries the essence of a masculine energy, but I actually don't only mean the masculine collective, but I mean like the general collective, then it actually is better if I just use a more neutral term. So that's my reason why I'm doing that. And I'm trying not to use those terms that carry like a certain essence in it that is more leaning towards one or the other side. So yeah, there's something about, don't get hung up on, again, like what is like discussed in social or political circles at the moment, or like in popular culture, and to dismiss something simply because it is popular belief right now, and you are annoyed by it or whatever. It is about, like, again, do your own thing and look beyond the noise that the public or the collective is making. Not our collective, but like the collective as society. And I did get something else, but I forgot it. Oh yeah, right. That thing about dreaming and this take a nap and imagine. Yeah. Pretty straightforward. Allow yourself to dream. Allow yourself to rest and to dream. This is actually, it's a very heavy manifestation energy at the moment. What? Sorry. That was a very, very weird way to shuffle the cards. I do get something about like structures that are being built in the background, and we don't, like, it looks shaky or messy, and we don't really We feel like this is not how this is supposed to be, but actually it's exactly how it's supposed to be. It's just not what we think it's supposed to look like, but it actually is what it's supposed to be. Both cards? Yes. Okay. So we do have blessed fork in the road. Yeah. So there are blessings coming in, and you are at this pivotal time right now. Basically, like standing on like a fork in the road. And there is an owl. Okay, so it seems like you're trying to like look like into the looking glass to see what the future holds for you. Maybe you're watching a lot of tarot readers. Maybe, yeah, you're trying to predict what the future holds. And it's not that this is necessarily wrong or you're not supposed to do that. Again, with this dream and take a nap, yeah, it's okay to rest. It's okay to take a break and to dream. So this is interesting. Like this looking into the looking glass actually is something that might be beneficial right now with the blessed card, because you can claim certain energies right now for you and you can call them in by, for example, watching certain readings. And dreaming about certain outcomes, about things you want to achieve or call in. This might help you in this, like where we are right now. But at the same time, there is something with this young card and clean it up. So it seems like there's something that needs your action. And something needs to be cleaned up first. And with the reverser here, it's like a blockage. It feels like before you can like exit this fork in the road that you are in right now, there's something you need to clear out first. And this will need your action, your active participation. We have the higher power card on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, this is, there's a bigger, there's some kind of bigger plan behind all of this. So he's drawing me to the tarot now. Okay, so the Magician and the Hanged One. The Magician very much speaks to me about this young card, about this active energy, like moving forward, manifestation energy. And the Hanged One in reverse, with the Hanged One being... The Hanged One is a card of timeout. It is a time where we are in a holding pattern, where we are asked to basically sit with ourselves, with the questions of the universe, often, and just being open to receiving higher wisdom. And the Magician also is the card of Mercury. So this is speaking to me about this Mercury retrograde. Really like using this time of the Mercury retrograde to sit and wait what kind of insights this period holds for us. And this is necessary so that we can actually go into this more active energy and to do the kind of cleanup that we need to do. Okay, so it seems like there's still something you're missing something. There's some piece of information that you need before you actually can move into action and before you actually can go into this cleanup that you need to do. Hi there, short interruption out of the editing process. I am very, very sorry because, well, Mercury messed with the sound. There actually was a different message wanting to come through. It went in a bit of a different direction. I'm not quite sure who it's in general meant for. I recorded the other message already. It went pretty deep. I also will post it probably a bit after this video. So if you want to know what else came through, although it was not Mercury himself, he was just leading the way into it. It was actually more of a primordial feminine energy that came through. So if you feel called to watch that, you will find it on my channel soon. Regarding the rest of the video, I'm sorry for the bad sound quality, but I mean it's a bit on and off. It's still bearable, but I apologize and please stay tuned nonetheless because there are beautiful and valuable messages coming through. But yeah, this is how he rolls. He's just it's Mercury retrograde at its best. So sorry, and back to the messages. You don't have the whole picture. Something about an acorn. Something about an acorn. What is it with that acorn? I feel like I shuffle, and I keep checking in. Like, is this still? Am I supposed to take a card? Is this still aligned? Is this still the right deck? It's like, yeah, just keep shuffling, keep shuffling. And then suddenly it stops. So, Champion of Swords is the Knight of Swords, which is like movement coming in, swift movement. And it is interesting because the Knight of Swords for me is an energy. It can be from inside of us so that we move into quick action. But it can also be a certain time that we are in, and suddenly like there is some kind of greater movement coming with that higher power card. So there's some kind of movement of the universe, you could say. And it's like a gust of wind, and it's taking you, and you see those butterflies that are surfing on the wind. And this is exactly what we can do when we are in that Knight of Swords, Champion of Swords energy. We are surfing on that wind. And it's so much about trust. It's so much about trust that we are able to do that. Because sometimes we have those huge, there's huge things coming up in our lives, and we're like, how am I supposed to do that? I have no idea. And then we need to trust that we are able to actually do it, that we can do it. And we all have had those experiences in our lives where we look back and we're like, I have no idea how I did it, but I did it. And so, yeah, it's a lot about trust. That when the time is right and it's coming, then we will be able to do it. But again, before we are able to do it, it is needed that we sit in this Mercury retrograde energy and receive the wisdom and knowledge and the insights, so that in the end we are able to actually surf on this wind. Yeah, we have also the Two of Vessels and the Six of Wands. So I know many people, it's the Two of Cups. Many people read that card as a card of relationship, and it can be. But to me, it actually speaks even more about the relationship to the self. And all our external relationships are a reflection of our internal relationship, the relationship that we have with ourselves. So it's basically a card of both. But if you know me, if you've seen any of my other readings, videos, whatever, you know that I'm always proclaiming and saying, like, look at your inside first, look at your own relationship, look at what kind of archetypes and dynamics and programmings and thoughts, beliefs, all of that is active inside of yourself, because you will realize that this is mirrored in your external environment. So yeah, and especially with this Mercury retrograde energy, and this is, I feel like this is the reason why it's turned on its head. It really is, look inside, look at the relationship to yourself, look what is active and present in yourself. And with the Six of Wands card also in reverse, which is the card of victory. I feel like, yes, like looking inside of yourself, looking at your own patterns and the relationship to yourself, in relation to this Mercury retrograde right now, will lead you to victory, but this kind of feels like it's too flat. It's not deep enough. Yeah, he's saying, yeah, there are always more layers to it, and it might seem like this is the straightforward interpretation of these two cards. Like, yeah, okay, look at yourself, and then you will receive what you want, and the blessings will come in. And yes, of course, I mean, that's true, but it feels like I'm missing something here. So there's something about, it's not always the first and logical thing, not the thing that makes sense. Don't stop before you haven't received everything. Again, like, it's this thing, like, there is more to discover. There's, especially with the Hanged One, like, there's always more to discover, and we think it's like those bigger cosmic insights, they're barely ever what it looks at first glance. And you think, oh, now I got it. And then it's like, oh, honey, you only just discovered like the little snowflake on the tip of the iceberg. So yeah, there's this thing coming through with like, there's always more, there's always more. Okay, so there's something about like looking deeper inside of yourself. Oh, okay. And there are victories, there are things like this imagining card that came out earlier. There are things you can't even see yet are waiting for you because you don't have the capacity, or like you don't even have the, you don't even know that that was possible. You didn't even know that this was in the cards for you. So there is stuff actually waiting for you that you don't even know you could dream about. There are victories that are far bigger than what you, not only what you allow yourself to dream of, but what you actually can dream of. Because it's like, yeah, with the 7 of coins here, like there's something in the make. You did plan something. Okay, so it feels like you planted something quite some time ago. Maybe you even forgotten about it, but you planted it. And maybe it was a wish, maybe it was an intention, something you wanted to manifest, and you feel like, oh wow, the universe has forgotten me, or this thing just seems like it's not in cards for me, or it doesn't really come to fruition. And the thing is, it does. It just doesn't come in the way you thought it would, because you were actually dreaming too small. Like you imagined something. So now I'm getting something. Okay, maybe you just wanted your own home, and you were thinking, like, oh, like just like a nice little apartment, and you would have been happy with that. And the universe is like, oh, you're going to get your own home, but you know what? This is going to be like this huge, amazing place where you are. I don't know. Maybe you're opening like an. Okay, I'm getting something about an animal shelter. Because you find this place and there's like all this space and you love animals, and then you just create this this place where people and animals can meet, or you're making like a, I don't know, a creative space, or like, you know, like there's something like, and this is just an example, it could be anything. So you just put out a wish at some point in your life, and the universe is like, oh yeah, honey, you're going to receive that. It's so much bigger than what you've ever dared to dream of. And maybe it's even things you didn't even know back then, or even now, that you want those things. But when you receive them, you're like, oh, well, I guess it's a good thing that I waited for it, because this is so much better than what I've ever could have imagined. And again, he's bringing me back to the Champion of Swords here. Like, trust that, because I can already feel this can make some people tense up and like, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can build that. Like, this sounds huge. And it's like, yeah, it is huge, but you will be able to do it, because if you keep sitting in this kind of energy, and I don't say that it's done with like, it's a one and done thing, that with this Mercury retrograde, you will be enlightened and you will have all the answers to all your problems. Like, no, that's not it. But it can help you get a huge step closer to where you want to be. And just know the next Mercury retrograde is waiting for you, because like I said, I think it's usually like 3 or 4 of those each year. I think 3 usually. So yeah, it's like, trust that all of those things are bringing you closer to some kind of wish fulfillment, some kind of manifestation, some kind of blessing that you are working towards. And those times, like the Mercury retrograde that we are in right now, are helping us to actually fast forward that process and to elevate us into who we need to be in order to achieve those things, and to go into this Knight of Swords energy that will bring us there a whole lot of quicker. Anything else? Nope. Mic drop, I think. Bringing my attention back to that acorn. Okay, so this is again just like the symbol of planting seeds and like planting an acorn and until it grows into this huge, durable, amazing tree with like really, really, I think it's very durable wood. And it's a very strong tree. And if you just look at an acorn, like it's not very big. And if you imagine that out of such a tiny little thing, like this whole tree can grow, this massive tree, it's amazing. It really is. All right, so that's it. Yeah, that was a message from Mercury. Thanks. Thanks for putting in your time and energy and effort and being here until the end. I would love to hear from you as always. If you found this helpful, just leave a comment or a like or a subscription. Also helps me with picking up on your energy and supports the channel if you like this kind of content so that I can do more of it. And yeah, I would love to hear from you, like I said. And I wish you all the best and looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, take care, my loves.